All right, so I'm Beck Lane, and this is Catalyst and Company. Catalyst and Company, where periodically I wear the same clothes, video after video. And that's what's happening right now. I, my big fashion sense is Old Navy sweatshirts and T-shirts from Michaels. Oof, try not to be jealous. Anyway, I just made a video number 190, and Catalyst and Company number 190 ran about 40 minutes because I'm trying to work out how to navigate the world that we're in and diving further into with Elon Musk and his Sieg Heil wave to the crowd, that stuff. But what I also talked about is continuing to paint and blah blah blah. And so what I decided to do was set up a number of canvases. I actually started doing this yesterday, setting up a number of canvases so that I have things that are ready to go. I have to have a stream of canvases that are in varying stages of beginning to finished or close to finished, so that my head keeps moving. I also need a lot of coffee. But this is one of them, and I was just starting to work on it when I thought, oh, okay, we'll try the camera again, and we won't talk for 40 minutes. Now, one of the things I'm doing, and have been doing for years, is listening to audiobooks. And when I first started this channel, or doing Studio Mate in another state, where we were live painting for up to 3 hours, just hanging out, me talking, you can turn me off, that kind of a thing. You can turn off the volume. But we were together working for anywhere from 30 minutes to 3 hours. In the beginning, I had a lot of audiobooks going. And what I did was I held them up to the camera and credited the author, also the voice artist, and the publisher, along with the title. I would hold everything up so you could see it, and we would talk about it for a sec. I don't know how many of them I did, but I would have them running on CD, and we would listen. Well, I did get a couple of trademark hits or copyright hits, and then I was released from YouTube jail because I had credited everybody, but it took the enthusiasm out of it for me. We've also listened to little bits of Boston Public Radio, but that again is copyright infringement, which I completely understand. But over the years, I've made suggestions of things to listen to. And in following up on Catalyst and Company number 140, where we're like, I want to let you know about a book I started listening to this morning. I belong to several different libraries, maybe just two. I don't know. One here in Sarasota, one in Georgia, and I think I have another one somewhere else. So I have access to multiple collections of audiobooks, so I'm not paying Audible $15 a month or whatever it is now to listen to one. I have been going and looking for The World According to Garp because I love The World According to Garp. It's one of my favorite books. I think I've read that. It's one of my top 5 in terms of having read it the most, and one of my top 5 movies in terms of seeing it the most. Only viewed more. The only movies I viewed more would be It's a Wonderful Life, possibly Elf, and a couple of other ones that we won't mention now because the people that starred in them are horrible and need to just go away. But anywho, in terms of books, it's The World According to Garp is one of my favorites. I cannot find it listed anywhere. I did find it on Amazon via Audible, and I can't do that. I've found it on other sites, but then they want monthly subscriptions. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is the universe. Maybe this is the Audible world telling me to find other things. And this morning, I was going through collections of Audible books that are available to the libraries I do belong to, And I did find this really odd selection that I want to suggest to you. I like self help books, sort of, but most of the time they're full of lectures on how you should be. And most of the time, it's a fake it till you make it, slap a smile on your face, go for your joy thingy, and it makes my skin crawl. It pisses me off because it's superficial. Uh, there's nothing substantive for the most part. It's mainly the author telling you how incredibly brilliant they are, that they put on a pair of yoga pants that morning and, they found their way to enlightenment. And I just find that really irritating and disingenuous. But I found a book this morning that I want to suggest. It's by a therapist named, okay, good luck, or wish me luck, Aundi Kolber. Aundi Kolber, and I'll spell it AundikoLber. AundikoLber, and it's called Strong Like Water. And she's a therapist, but she's talking about, it feels like she wrote this about me all the way across the board in terms of, oh, I hate cliche, but repeated trauma. And I just hate cliche so much, so I hate to use the word trauma, but it's repeated trauma. And what she addresses that I find really interesting is not only the neurological system and the amygdala and all these bits of the brain that we've talked about before, that hold memory and hold emotion and, trigger the entire body, the entire nervous system. Uh, she talks about people who have lived in times that we're experiencing, and also how that brings up past experiences, but how there are some people in the world who experience the same things over and over and over and over and over again, no matter how hard they try and put it at bay, keep the abuse at bay, keep the ambivalence at bay, the mocking at bay, the whole thing. Uh, how people can experience it over and over and over again, and what it does to you. And so, nobody has ever. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say this before, other than possibly Viola Davis, in her autobiography, where she addresses her experiences in life and having the same things happen over and over again, but how when she was younger she was able to push ahead through it. I'm exhausted. I'm going to be 62. I am really tired and burnt out, so it's a little bit harder. But this woman, Aundi, Aundi, we'll call her D. Kolber actually addresses it. How slight after slight after slight, abuse after abuse after abuse, severe disappointment after severe disappointment, frustration after frustration, what it does to your body and your mind. And so she's mentioned a number of things where I've gone, what? Because I'm like Mel Robbins, where it's like I'm at the top of the world, and I do like Mel Robbins, but fake it till you make it kind of stuff, which she does. She says she doesn't do, but Mel Robbins says she doesn't talk about, but she does. Um, it's not them, it's you, kind of thing. This woman talks about, yeah, other people are horrible, and they will do this because they can, and you shouldn't be victim shamed into, you know, trying. You shouldn't be victim shamed about the things that have happened to you. I never hear that. I never freaking hear that. So there's the title. I mean, it's like victim shaming now. What's going on in our world, and as I talked about, the guy that lives next door to me, taking advantage and just mocking and having that, authoritarian white man syndrome going on. living with people like that, living in a culture that we're living in now. You might, I don't remember how I started that sentence, but you might find this helpful to have somebody go, no, it, no, it's not you necessarily, but let's figure out how we can help you survive this together. So strong like water. It's something that we used in Kung Fu when I took Kung Fu, that you were to flow like water. And of course, I didn't. I flowed about as well as a dump truck. But so this is what I'm doing. Yeah, there goes fat ass now. He doesn't watch my videos. He's never going to know. Quite frankly, I don't care because he's earned it. He's earned his little nicknames, or the nicknames I have for him. It takes a lot for me to get angry. It takes a lot. And then once I do, I'm done. It takes a lot. So I'm setting up these, and it takes a lot for me to go, I'm all done with you, period. You don't exist at all anymore. It takes a lot for me to reach that point. Because everybody has bad days. Everybody makes stupid decisions. Everybody makes mistakes. God knows I've made enough of them because I'm a human being. But then there are people that just decide, this is who I'm going to be. And I will make you suffer the consequences. Thus, we don't speak to that one. But anyway, I am setting up a canvas for my 40th portrait of Frida Kahlo. I started working on a portfolio of 55 portraits of Frida. I got to, I think, 37? No, I got to 30 something or other. And I ended up with people who made me very uncomfortable, and a stalker. People became a little too obsessive with it, so I had to stop. The stalker is gone now, as in gone now. As in she moved from me to other people to stalk. And then ended her life after a few months of stalking other people. It's just sad. It's really sad. She was very smart. She was smart. She was talented. Sad. And anyway, so after a couple of, or a bunch of not fun incidents with her, and some craziness with other people trying to, control me, I just stopped. I stopped doing Frida Kahlo. And I decided to shift my focus to other things. But now that we're entering this really horrible time of white male know-it-allness, I've decided that it is time to start doing Frida again, to pick back up on the project that had been paused while people stopped losing their minds about Frida. But she's like the perfect, can you see what I'm doing? She's the perfect subject for now. She was obviously a woman. She was bisexual. She was an artist. she, well, I'm just going to shift something. God. She was maligned. She was described in an article by a woman author as being the little lady. So she was property of Diego Rivera. In the world's view, in a larger world view. Let's turn this just a tad. There we go. But she didn't let that define her. Her status, her money, her talent, and also the strength she was taught to have as a child informed her that she didn't need to live under the construct of other people, of how other people defined her, or what she should be doing. She was really quite, I don't like her artwork. I don't like the way she painted. I mean, I understand the context and the content, but her skill level was interesting. Or actually, not very interesting. But again, it's her content, it's her character that we associate with. I mean, this woman fought for workers' rights. Even just before she died, when the last two photographs taken of her were taken at a protest for workers' rights in Mexico. That's kind of incredible. It's not kind of, that is incredible. So she is a symbol of strength. She is a symbol of nonconformity. She is a symbol of so many things, of being an absolute individual. She found worth in handmade arts and indigenous arts. I mean, you think about that now, people finding value in indigenous arts in this culture, when we're being told women don't matter, Native Americans don't matter, Black and brown people, African Americans don't matter, Mexicans really don't matter, we need to get rid of them. You think, when you think about what she brought to the table then, and what she brings to the table now. When she went to New York, and she was dressing in native Mexican, handmade Mexican clothing. In Chicago, she was both admired for it, you know, with these very fashionable women falling in love with her clothing, but also told, you can't dress like that here because we don't see the value in it. I think you may hear a theme over and over and over again that has continued for the last 13 years. People not seeing the value in something doesn't mean there is no value. So, like Frida, we will continue doing our artwork, regardless of the times that we live in, or how it is not deemed, or how it is deemed, or how it is not deemed now. We're just going to continue doing our work. This is a great time to dig our heels in. If they already do not see our value, then there's nothing to lose. There's nothing, what does the saying? There's nothing more dangerous than a man or a woman or anyone who has nothing to lose. I love that. So I'm setting this one up to start Frida number 40, and I'm going to continue doing the last 15 for the portfolio, the 55 Frida Project, what has been called the 55 Frida Project. And I'm doing 55 because Frida did 55 self-portraits. So I'm doing 55 portraits. And I'm kind of glad that I had the crazy stalker. Oh, sorry about that. That I had the stalker. And now I'm kind of glad that people, you know, I had controlling people that creeped me out so much I just stopped altogether. Because it was becoming kind of rote and it didn't feel like it had the meaning it did. As much meaning as I wanted it to have. It was more like Frida Kahlo, me likey. Ugh. But now we can use, now is the opportunity to review Frida Kahlo as a symbol. And also review her actual strengths and her actual meaning to our lives. And look to her like we do to Van Gogh. To how to navigate in difficult times. All right, I had to keep doing this. I had, as you can see, this is an unstretched canvas. You may be able to see this is an unstretched canvas that I've attached to a stretched canvas. I've become deeply interested in painting on unstretched canvas. I don't know why. I kind of do, but I'm not telling you yet. So I've attached it to the stretched canvas, and then to the wall back here. I have 2 more on the wall. I've got a bunch I'm going to be doing like that. I do love the idea of raw. I love the idea of raw. I just love the idea of raw, especially when you're supposed to be perfect. But you know, it's supposed to be somebody's ideal of perfect. But I take the black and white gesso, I add, obviously black gesso, and then I wipe it out with, and make these gray areas, because the paint will react differently in the gray areas, the black areas, and the white areas. I find all white canvases incredibly boring and frustrating, and I can't think. I think better in chaos. Anyway, that's it. I'm Beck Lane. All right, I'm Beck Lane, and this is Catalyst and Company. If you'd like to help support Catalyst and Company, or would like to see original work, or inquire about original work, all the links are down below. Or you can message me. That's fine. Email me. Whatever. All right, here we go. Ciao. Hey, Carrie, by the way. Sorry I'm not on Facebook right now to see your posts and to talk. I just can't. I can't. Too much ick. All right. But I wish you well. Ciao. Meow, meow, meow.